All right, what it do, everybody? It's your boy LG from Where There's Smoke. Kind of wanted to just go ahead and make a video about the first week of Big Brother, kind of the first three episodes. Um, the first two episodes, kind of a lot happened, but a lot didn't. It was the introducing of all the contestants. They did the AI Ainsley competition, which kind of had like the consequences of upgrades and downgrades. But I really don't consider the whole game and everything to start really until they sit down in the living room and all introduce themselves and they're all in the house together. Um, but anyway, I kind of want to just talk about the first two episodes briefly, and then we'll kind of cover episode three, and then I have some clips I want to get into over episode three, and then kind of just go from there. Um, so I don't know if they were ever gonna let the Ainsley or AI mix of like the real person AI ever play the game or whatever. I think it was more of just something to kind of gauge the players' like thoughts on the game and maybe Big Brother IQ and just how they're kind of would think about letting another player in the game. So that was an interesting insight to how they all view it like early on. And then it had real game consequences and either put them in the upgrade or downgrade competition. So that was kind of cool. The results of that were Cedric and Chelsie were downgraded and couldn't compete in any other competitions except for the AI competition, which we'll talk about a little later. And then Mackenzie and Quinn got the upgrades, which we'll also talk about a little bit later. So there were some consequences of it. It was interesting to see everyone's thoughts, but it's just kind of a real quick intro competition that it's I wouldn't put too much weight on it, more or less, I guess. So I wanted to talk about the second competition, which I guess would be the HOH competition. I really liked the twist on it and how each round was a different twist. I liked how the first round had the social element, and because, as I had mentioned a little prior, no one really has been in the house together long and acclimated. No one has uh, alliances, much less even relationships with anybody. So I thought it was interesting how they kind of forced everyone to jump in quick groups. And then there was two odd men out that were kind of eliminated from the competition right away. I like that. I like that social element in an early on competition when no one knows each other. So I just kind of like that spin and kind of refreshing. And it kind of reminded me of, I feel like there's been a couple competitions, maybe not with that social element, but where they've switched the rules each round to kind of throw the contestants and keep the viewer thrown off as well. So I like that in this competition where each round was a little different. So first round was the social thing. Second round was where the best team that won got to kick out another team, which was cool. And then the teams had to compete against each other, and the best man won. So again, I like how each round they were changing it up, keeping the contestants on their toes. And then of course the result of that was Angela winning. And then the whole fallout with her and Matt ensued after that, which I covered in kind of the live streams clips, which I kind of wanted to noted for anyone who's not totally familiar with Big Brother. And I was kind of refreshing myself on it as well. I know the live streams are ahead of what we get on the show, but I believe the stuff that happened like with Angela and Matt was on maybe Friday or Saturday, and then we saw it Saturday. But the HOH competition, which we saw Sunday, had already happened like Friday before the fallout with Angela and Matt. So we saw the HOH competition Sunday, but it really happened Friday, I believe. So timeline's kind of off if you're not watching the live feeds. Um, but I really like the second comp, the HOH comp, and how they kind of had everyone guessing with the different rounds. Another thing I wanted to talk about is how they're gonna have three nominees on eviction night. I really like how that's going to play into like strategy with alliances and having to put up three people. And, and then with the AI comp, the eviction night, one of those people gets to come off. So it's like almost another veto, but with only the three people up there. So that's an interesting thing. Um, and yeah, just eager to see how that's going to play out in strategy. And what was I thinking? Um, Yeah, I guess the veto doesn't conflict with that because the veto happens before that. Kind of what I was thinking, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I kind of also have a theory that that's not going to be in the game the whole season. I kind of feel like about the halfway mark or the 2/3 mark of the season, they'll probably reduce the nominees from three back to the normal two. I could be wrong about that, but that's just my theory early on. Speaking of my early on theories, I kind of want to go ahead and pull out my picks, even though we have had the first eviction. Uh, I kind of don't consider, as I was saying earlier, I don't consider Big Brother to start until they all sit down and introduce each other in the living room. And kind of a week from that, I would consider the first week. So anyway, now that I've seen the contestants for a good, 2 or 3 episodes, once they've all sat down in the living room, which would be episode 3. So I've seen 3, 4, 5. So I've seen 3 episodes. I'm gonna go ahead and make my pick for the potential winners. I'm gonna go with Quinn, who I felt good about from the beginning, and then Cam and Leah. And Cam, I feel like he's just kind of cool, laid back. After seeing him interact with everything and handle all the social interactions, and then his physical threat and potentially also being a mental comp threat, I just think seeing him stay cool, calm, and collected, not really claiming allegiance to a side early on, I really like about his game. And then Leah, I could see her, even though she's been in the cool kid camp, so to speak, and kind of the minority with Matt and Mackenzie, I could see her being somewhat of a Nicole character and pulling out maybe 1 or 2 comp wins and having a decent social game whenever her immediate alliance members get kicked out, and then she's forced to kind of reacclimate to the game and make other alliances. I think she has things to offer, and I think she can be personable to other people. And I just think maybe she's kind of a sleeper pick for me. So those are my 3 picks. We'll see how they do. And y'all let me know who y'all's early pick to win is. What y'all are thinking about all the funny moments so far, the fights and stuff. What y'all think of the early on, I guess, 1 or 2 competitions we've had so far, and just overall opinions on Big Brother so far. I'm gonna go ahead and get into a few clips from episode 3 that I liked, and then probably close out the video with a few final thoughts. So, all right. So here's one of the funny clips that I found in this episode that I kind of want to go over with y'all.
It says,
Woo! I am the greatest athlete of all time. I'm like that, dude. I cannot believe that I just won the deep fake upgrade.
Oh man, I'm like that. One more time.
I am the greatest athlete of all time. I'm like that, dude. I cannot believe that I just won the deep fake upgrade.
Oh man, best athlete of all time. I'm like that. Man, I feel like I had a better reaction the first time reacting to this. Was already doing a video react to all this stuff, and the audio was terrible, so I'm shooting this again. But man, I can't believe he said that. Best athlete of all time. I'm like that. All right, let's see. One more good little clip that I think y'all will enjoy is when Angela won the HOH competition. Let's go ahead and play this for y'all.
That's looking
yes,
good.
Mama. Looking at 23. Yes!
That's looking good.
Let's go! Okay. Let's go, Mama!
Okay.
Angela, you got a
Kenny was
score of
limp.
23. You are in the lead.
Who's your mama? That's what's up, Mama. That's what's up.
One more time.
Who's your mama? That's what's up, Mama. That's what's up.
So it's the last and final round, and I'm feeling the pressure. I know for a fact that Angela feels threatened by me. She's the one that I'm most nervous about, and at all costs, I do not want Angela
25 to
for me.
But I know the odds.
Angela. You have one new rule and are the first head of household of the summer.
Get on that seat! Get on that seat!
Coming into the house knowing, I'm 50. And, there's usually a stigma attached to that. They're already labeling me mama. I didn't come into the house to, be mama. I
Yes,
did
you-
this! Through the age, it doesn't matter. Angela, I myself, I won the first HOH. Forget who's your mama. Who's your new HOH? Woo! This girl right here.
Woo! Oh,
Angela
man.
becomes the first HOH.
She's something. So another thing I wanted to kind of throw out before I close out the video is I think as a result of Cedric and Chelsie having the downgrade, it's kind of forced them into a closer relationship, and that's kind of a on the low. What is it called? Showmance that we could see in the future. Maybe not, but at least they've been pushed together and kind of forced to be close because of the downgrade. So that's something to watch out for in the future. And another thing I'm going to be interested to see is so far the house seems to be like the Angela and her crowd versus like the Leah, Mackenzie and Matt crowd. I want to see how long that lasts and if that kind of shakes up and just how the house kind of settles after 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll see. I'm eager to see some gameplay finally unfold after week one. And yeah, I kind of like how it's going early on. We'll see kind of the wrath of Angela week one, but we'll see what kind of gameplay unfolds after this kind of the dust settles on this and what else kind of happens. And we'll see what other twists are going to be thrown with the AI. So far, there's been the 2 downgrades, which were kind of minor. Well, luckily that they were on Angela's side, that they were minor, but we'll see. And then we'll see if the upgrades come into play. So y'all let me know what y'all thinking of the season so far. Uh, and y'all get in the comments and let me know who y'all's early picks are to win. And I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. That's LOG from Where the Smoke. I'm out.